Hello guys, and welcome once again to my channel. So if you have not seen my past episodes, this is episode 5 of my home series, and today I'm going to show you how I turned this cheap table into this fabulous expensive restoration hardware Pottery Barn looking coffee table. So if you want to see that, just keep on watching. Okay, so first of all, let's go over the things that you will need. So you will need 2 paint brushes. Here you only see 1, but later on you'll see why you need 2. Then you need whatever paint you choose. I chose this milk paint, but it needs a primer. I didn't realize that until a week later, so you'll see that as well. You'll need some nail heads in the color of your choosing, and you will also need a pink hammer. Just kidding, it doesn't have to be pink, but it helps. You will also need some type of container to put your paint in. I prefer disposable cups because I don't have to deal with cleanup after. I can just throw it out, so I just put my paint in the cup, and this is pretty self-explanatory. I just started painting, and yeah, I did that until the whole table was covered. And yeah, I chose this color. So let me tell you a little bit about this paint. It's supposed to give you like a chalk kind of finish. That's why it's called milk paint. But I didn't realize, I mean, don't judge me, but I've never done this before, but when you paint over laminate, you need a primer unless you sand it down, and I didn't sand it, so I needed a primer. So you will see what happened about a week after I had this table. I mean, I noticed the first day, but after a week you'll see how awful it looks. And yeah, I had to go out, buy a primer, and then pretty much redid the entire thing, but you'll see more later. So here you can kind of see how the paint was drying. As it dries, it gets more and more matte until it has a complete matte finish. Now once you put the primer, it does get kind of shiny, but it's not a bad shiny. It's not like glossy or anything. It's more like a real wood type of look, which I really liked. So fast forward to about a week later, and a lot of cups on the table, and this happened. It looked so bad. It had the marks of like cups and plates and everything on it, and especially once you wipe it with like anything at all, the paint just starts coming off. So it was awful. I went and bought the bonding primer and sealer, or more like sealer and primer, which looks like this. It's just like it looks white right now, but it's just clear. And I started applying it to the table right on top of that paint. I didn't remove it or anything. I just applied it right on top because it is a sealer as well. So I did this. Once I finished with that, I let it dry for about an hour, maybe a little bit longer than that, and then I did a second coat of paint. You can do the sealer on top once again, but I chose not to. It's been about 3 weeks and it still looks pretty good. It's not coming off or anything, but if you wanted to do the sealer again on top, you can definitely do that. Another thing I wanted to mention is that this paint says you have to sand the table or whatever it is you're painting in between coats. I didn't do any sanding, and it has like a rough finish, which I don't mind, but I think if you were doing like a dining table, then you would definitely need to sand it because you wouldn't want it to be rough, since like your arms touch the table at all times and all of that. Once I was done painting all of this, I just let it dry for a few hours, and then I did measure around the table and mark it with some chalk. I thought I was filming, but it turns out I wasn't, but you can see the little markings here. And then I just went in with the nail heads and I just put them all around the table, and this is pretty much it. Once I did that all around the table, everything was done, and this is what the table looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. So this is the end result. I think it looks so good. I am so happy with it. It just looks way more expensive than it actually is, and I am just so happy with it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't seen any of my other home episodes, make sure to watch them. I will link all of them below, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. I have tons of stuff to share with you guys. Again, thank you so much for watching.